Hey guys, today I'm actually pretty excited. I'm going to review a bag that I did a first impression on many months back, and it's the No Reception Club Getaway Bag. And this is a bag that is designed for adventurous parents. So if you have a kid, you have children, this is something that you should look at. I've been using this bag since like last summer is when I first got it, and I have taken this on quite a number of trips. So this isn't like a short-term review. I have been using this bag for many months, and we're gonna be able to see what are some of the rigors or what are some of the marks of use that this bag has. So just to give a little bit of a brief history, No Reception Club is the work of Daniel and Gemma out of San Francisco, and they are parents of two kids, and they wanted a bag, an adventure bag for parents that didn't look like a parent bag. And in a lot of ways, they achieved it with this design, but in some ways, it still has a little bit of work. One kind of interesting thing is, last October, my wife and I, along with our daughter, did take this bag with us from Miami all the way to California for 2 weeks. And we happened to have met Daniel and Gemma in San Francisco. So it was kind of a cool thing because in person, face to face, I was able to tell them what I thought of the bag. So this review, it shouldn't be anything new to them. I did relay some of my thoughts to them about what I felt can be done better on the bag. So of course, some of the things I liked, some of the things that I didn't like. So to begin, let's just talk about the pricing. For just the bag itself, it's $235 US dollars. And then there's also a travel bundle that includes a stroller strap, a lunchbox, the Sidekick, which is like a diaper changing station in a sling. Like, it's pretty awesome. And the changing pad as well. Just a lot of cool stuff, and I believe that one is $275. Now, understandably, we might think, well, $235, $275 is a lot of money. But I would argue that with this bag, the flaws that I'm going to talk about aside, or even considering those flaws, this is a pack that you can get for your child when they're an infant, just newborn. And this is going to be something that as they grow older, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, if you're still taking things for them, this is a bag, you pretty much buy it and that's it. You don't need another diaper bag. You don't need another kid bag, because this is going to last that long, and it has all the features. So one of the things that's interesting about this bag is that they throw a ton of features at this thing. So there are some things that I never really used, and I thought, oh, it'd be nice if we can just get rid of it. But other people may like it. So let's get into it. First off, you can look at the design. This bag, even for first-time designers and manufacturers, No Reception Club, they decided to use some really nice materials in terms of the zippers or YKK. There's vegetable tanned leather in the bottom. That some of the zipper pulls, or all the zipper pulls, are leather zipper pulls. There's metal hardware. Even here, like this rope for cinching is like a thick rope. It's not cheap. So they decided to use some good materials here. So let's go in through the outside. So just kind of like briefly going over it. This is the front of the pack. You have a very small branding. It's not like huge, not big. I actually really like this branding. So here you have this compartment here where I put in a bunch of stuff, like things that I needed for my kid. But it can be used for anything. I know my wife for a long time used it to put her cell phone, a wallet while we were in transit. So this can be used for a number of things. There's also a key leash, of course, whatever. You will notice though here that there's this like really nice bright liner inside, and that goes throughout the entire bag as well. And it has like these hand-drawn little illustrations, and I think that's such a, it definitely speaks like this is a parent bag. But at the same time, it's kind of endearing. Like I like how unique and special that is. So basic pocket here, and the zippers are super smooth. So just real briefly, I will say that for this review, as we go around to doing the tour, I will just start mentioning the things that I like and that I don't like for the sake of brevity. Okay, so here we have this bottom pocket, which I had mixed feelings about. So this bottom pocket is like a dry sack. I never really used this. In talking to Daniel about it, I asked him, like, what's the deal with this? Like, I don't use this. Why not just expand out the main capacity of the bag into this section? And his concern or the reason they made this is valid. Like, if you take your kids out to a pool or to the beach and you're going to get in your car and drive somewhere or go somewhere, you can just put the wet stuff in here and it doesn't affect, because it has like this waterproof tarpaulin material that protects the rest of the pack from the wet, dirty stuff. So even like dirty diapers, it's easily cleanable. So in that, I get it. I get why they did it. I personally wasn't a big fan of it because I just never used it. And also I'm not like a huge fan of kind of like the lip that it makes with the rest of the bag. But of course, that's subjective. For a lot of people, that may not matter at all. But that does include, so this bag does include like a dry sack in here that if the bag is packed out, or like if this bottom part is packed out, it does creep a little bit into the main compartment. And likewise, if the main compartment is super packed out, it does creep a little bit into this. So it's not like that if you don't use it, it's space that's wasted, because the main compartment will creep in there and use the space. So here we have a side pocket, and this was one of my favorite things. It's like a side access pocket. So here we have pretty much everything, and kind of like the Peak Design everyday bags, the side access was cool, and it also has shelving, which I thought was really neat. So here we have, for me, one of the breakout stars of this whole ensemble, which is the Sidekick sling. Guys, if you don't buy the bag, let's say you don't want the Getaway, I wholeheartedly recommend this sling. My wife and I use this all the time. Like, from the moment that we acquired the sling, we have put this in every single one of our parent bags that we've used, whether it be a messenger bag that I'm using, whether it be any other diaper bag or parent bag that I'm reviewing. This goes in every single bag. And why is that? Let me show you real quick. So you have like a main compartment here that has enough for multiple diapers, cream. This itself is a changing pad that's not super bulky, but enough to protect your kid. And then in the back, it has like this little flap where you can put wipes, and it's magnetic. So my wife puts her keys, her wallet, and that's all she needs. So she just takes this as like her purse, and it's like a whole changing station right here. So we love this thing. It's awesome. This is in like the sea glass color, which you can get on their site. There's also a black version of it, which is one that I initially had. My wife actually likes the sea glass, and I think it's very fetching, like this mint green kind of color, but then with this like copper strap, and then like this kind of gold looking buckle, like just like real cool. But yeah, really recommend the Sidekick. So let's keep going with what we're talking about. So you have the shelves, and then here is also their lunchbox. This comes with the travel bundle, and again, this is another thing that we put in every single bag that we use. It's an insulated lunchbox. It actually has YKK AquaGuard zips, and it's just like cavernous. Just put a bunch of snacks and stuff in there, and it's been awesome. So pretty much no matter what bag we're using, we always have the No Reception Club lunchbox and the No Reception Club sling in there, because just really between those two things, for the most part right now, our daughter being 2 years old, that's all we really need. But it doesn't matter what bag we're using, we still use their accessories. So kind of a good endorsement of their ecosystem. So I have some clothes for my daughter here. So you have this like shelving. There's extra shelves. I only use one shelf because then in the bottom I have like some random stuff that I don't use very often. I have my daughter's like little lovey type stuff in there. So you have like this nice main compartment that's actually quite big. Like let's say that you don't care for the shelving, just take the shelving out. There is quite a bit of space in here, and like we saw the white liner as well. So side access is only on this side of the bag. This left hand side of the bag is the only part where you'll see this side access. On the outside of the side access, there is a water bottle pocket. It's not super stretchy by any means, so if the bag is really packed out, you might have a little bit of a hard time getting stuff into the back, into this side water bottle pocket. I mean, there's a little bit of a gusset with some like stretchy material, but I mean, it's not super stretchy. You might have a hard time putting some bigger stuff in there. So back panel. So you have like kind of like this quilted pattern here. It's not overly padded. It's just like enough give. Maybe it's about 1/4 inch of give here. And I never found it to be uncomfortable. My wife wore it for long stretches of time in the airport and walking around and stuff like that, and she never complained about that it was uncomfortable. The pads are also, it just seems like a single layer of foam. I don't think that there's multiple layers of foam here, but you can see how thick they are. But they are comfortable for what it's worth. And then you have like these D-rings which I never really used. But as a back panel goes, look, you're gonna get sweaty with this because there's no air channels. But it was a nice ride. It was comfortable. In the back, this is one of those things that I talked about that I kind of feel like this is a bag that can suit a lot of different people. We never really used this section. So this is like an admin section, like the adult section of the room. There's a laptop compartment with the Velcro closure. It's lifted off of the bag about 1 inch, which is a nice little feature. And then you have like this mesh compartment here that you can put stuff in as well. I don't think we ever used this, because for us this was like our kids' bag, and the times that we traveled, my wife never had to take her laptop, or if I needed to take my laptop, I had another bag with me or something like that. So I never really used this section, although I can see like somebody who is taking care of their kid, needs to get some work done somewhere, they're going to the park, they're going to sit on a bench and send out some emails. Hey, you know what? This might work out pretty well for them. But for me, I never really used that section. But I can appreciate that they put it there because it's trying to hit all the marks. Like these are things that a large number of people can use. So just like I really didn't use this bottom pocket, I could see how people would be able to use it. All right, so you have another water bottle pocket here. Again, not super stretchy. And then you have this section here, which kind of looks like it would be side access, right? Nope, it is like a little alcove here. It's like a cubby. This is something that Daniel and I had a disagreement on in terms of what to do with this. So the intention really was to put the Getaway sling in here and then close it up, and then this is where you would always have your sling. In use, I was never able to use it that way. I was never really able to put a fully packed out sling in here. But what I did use this for is I put extra diapers in here. I would be able to put like 6-7 diapers in here, maybe a couple snacks, just some like standalone stuff, even pouches that we needed. This is actually kind of a cool, very quick access way of going about getting things, and I really liked it. So maybe not the use case they had anticipated, but it's the use case that I really liked. It was really easy to get the extra diapers here and some other stuff. So kind of a neat cubby. The only thing is that, of course, this if this is being used to maximum capacity, like I was with the diapers, this does eat in about maybe like 2 inches into the main compartment. So that's it. And again, the zippers are fairly smooth. I mean, even trying to do it with one hand, and I almost got it. All right, so the front. So you have these metal buckles, and as you can see here, there's quite a bit of wear on them. Like I said, I've been using this thing now for almost a year. And this was a little bit of wear, like scratch marks. And in terms of also wear and durability, like the bag, like there's no like loose threads, there's no like major issues with it. And man, we've taken this places, and you know, aside from those scratches on the metal buckles, everything's been fine. That's presumably probably because like you let this go and it just kind of collapses into the front. So one of the things I did tell Daniel in that I feel like these buckles are not great. I mean, they're great because they're nice and metal, but I just don't like putting these together. Requires like they require a little bit of precision, whereas other buckle types, it's really easy to know exactly when you got the right fit. So they're kind of finicky that way. I wasn't a huge fan of this buckle implementation, but that's just me. You know, look, it's not a big deal. Honestly, it's not like it's very difficult to get it, but it's just a little bit. It just caused a little bit more friction than I would have anticipated, which I tend to notice because I review bags. But most people probably wouldn't even notice or even care. So here in the front, you have like again like this really nice, really high quality. Like it feels like a really nice vegetable tan leather. It's soft to the touch. It's starting to patina a little bit, which I'm pretty excited about. You know, to have like a parent bag showing patina, kind of cool. And then the last thing I wanted to show on this top flap is there's a quick access pocket here that is quite large. So you can put a lot of stuff in there. And then in here, these are the stroller straps from their travel bundle. So you have like this large pocket, you could put a ton of stuff in there. This is normally what I would put my Skittles, and my wife would put sometimes her phone or some other stuff in there. So really nice, and it expands out quite a bit, so you have a lot of extra room there. So you open this up, and again, nice liner. And then what you find is a cinch opening, which I really like because this is a way that I can get into the bag just using one hand. So if I have my daughter in one hand, I can easily open this up just using the other hand. And I thought that was really cool. One thing that I did mention to them is that I wasn't a fan of the thick rope. I would have preferred rope that was a little bit thinner to make opening and closing this a little bit easier. Or instead of using this, you know, admittedly nice piece of leather to close and cinch this, I would have preferred maybe just like that, I don't know what they're called, but those little plastic cinch mechanisms. You see them a lot on like Mystery Ranch stuff, or in other bags that have like a rope cinching mechanism to that. But you know, I really like this. It's quality. It shows that this is a premium professional bag. So you open it up, and now you have pretty much this giant cavern. So I like the access to it. So there's a number of ways of being able to get into the bag. So do I still use this bag? Yeah, I do. And I have reviewed quite a number of bags. So what do I use this for? Normally for longer trips. My wife and I have been using this bag because it stores a ton of stuff. You can get to things real easy. On an airplane, use the side access or the top access, no problem. In transit, in the car, really easy to get things. You could stuff a ton of stuff in here. And then you know what? If you get wet, the kid gets wet, the kid gets dirty and soiled, you know, just put the stuff here in the bottom of the sack and you're fine. So yes, it is. It is a little pricey. You see it's a little harder to close it. It is a little pricey, but in the end, you're getting a bag that can take you from the house to the daycare to the park, on vacation, on trips. Oh, there's also a luggage pass through. So there's that. So this is a bag that can take you anywhere. So that's why they called it the No Reception Club. So really the idea is for you as a family to be able to go out and disconnect from the world, to be able to just enjoy each other's company and not have to worry about anything else. Not have to, you don't have to have your phone with you. This bag will be able to carry all of your kids' stuff. So let me put it on real quick. I mean, it's not super packed out, but one of the cool things about it is that even when it's not packed out, it does maintain a bit of its structure because of the walls that they have in place for the shelving and this admin panel and this back panel as well. It does maintain a bit of its shape and structure, which I like. So let's put this on real quick so you can see it. So again, I'm 5'7", like 160 pounds, and this is the No Reception Club Getaway. You know, I like it. I think that in terms of parent bags, it doesn't really look like a parent bag. Like, it has some parent bag-ish things, but in general, if I saw somebody wearing this down the street, I wouldn't be like, that person has kids. Yeah, I wouldn't think that. Let me also put on the sling as well. So I wear the sling pretty often. So where's the sling? Depends on how you like to wear your sling, but you know, real easy. Just take the stuff out. Then you have changing pad, whatever you need, wipes in the back. You know, just an awesome system. So really, when you're investing in the No Reception Club ecosystem, you're getting something that is going to last you quite a while. I didn't mention the fabric in the front. The fabric in the front is a 100% polyester fabric. One thing that I did mention to them is maybe in a next iteration or maybe like a sub iteration, they can maybe offer a different material type. So that's right now what they're offering. It's still great material. I just think that maybe it's possible to up the ante a little bit, but of course that would mean that it's more expensive. Just so you know, right now you can get the travel bundle in black with the sea glass, or you can get it with the black sling. So I have both because I like it. So like I was saying, you invest in this ecosystem, you're getting the bag, which can take you anywhere. But let's say that your kid kind of outgrows the bag, or maybe your needs change. You still have the sling and the lunchbox. A lot of the times, like when I'm dropping my daughter off at my mom's house or my mother-in-law's house for the day, I just take the lunchbox with us because I could put a bunch of snacks and food in there, and that's all she needs. So I use the lunchbox just about every day in some form or another. Then when we travel, let's say we're going to a restaurant that's local, we don't really need to take anything else. You know what? I just take the sling. So you're investing in an ecosystem that no matter where you're going with your kid, you have something that's going to help you. So of course, like I said, I'm being really honest here of the things that I liked that I didn't like. It's not a perfect bag, but it does tick a lot of the boxes in terms of what parents are looking for. And look, when you look at the parent bag market, only now are you seeing brands coming out with really interesting bags that don't look like garbage. Because if you go to any Bye Bye Baby or Babies R Us or whatever, and you go to their bag section, it's all cheap, plasticky nonsense Eddie Bauer garbage. Which I'm not talking bad about Eddie Bauer as a brand, because I know they have some really cool stuff, but the Eddie Bauer backpacks that you see out there is not great. Amazon has tens of thousands of reviews of this Rivolino backpack, which my wife got because it was cheap and it was like the most highest rated Amazon bag, and that was garbage. And it also has features that are only relevant for a few months. So why not invest in a bag that is going to last not just a few months, but a few years? And yeah, it might have a little bit of upfront cost, but in the end, you're going to get a quality product, and it's going to make parenting on the go a little easier. So that's my take on the No Reception Club Getaway and their Sidekick sling. So even if you don't get the backpack, let's say that you want to forego the backpack because you're a person that you're like, you know what, I'm just going to use a Go Ruck, or I'm going to use a Peak Design bag, or I'm going to use a Topo bag, whatever bag that you want. I'm going to use a Tom Bin bag, whatever. I still highly recommend grabbing the sling. It's one of the best capsulized ways of being able to change diapers. So, guys, that's my review. Hope to see you soon. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that. And I will see you soon. Take it easy.